All right, we're back here on Smart Means Business, your daily Kickstarter, 26 minutes to the top of the hour. How are you doing and how is your Friday taking you? How prepared are you for the weekend? I hope you're doing okay and I hope you're doing great. Well, at this moment in time, we get into a discussion to do with what comes into the space of the weekly topics of discussion. But before that, just to remind you, you can invest in securities and bonds with Zabo. Now, Zabo is a platform where you can use to easily and comfortably invest in securities and earn more money with your phone, with the comfort of your smartphone. With MTN Zabo, it is your money and it is your future. Powered by Alltex East Africa. The simplest way to do it is by dialing *292# with MTN. That is the USSD code and you're good to go. So you can follow the prompts in there after dialing *292#. That is for the MTN subscriber. MTN Zabo, there you have it. So with Zabo, it is your money and your future. Invest in securities wherever and whenever you can, as low as you can definitely go in for that. Markets open at 8:15 a.m. East African Standard Time and do close at 3 p.m. East African Standard Time. Okay, do something new. Now, I'm joined by Barija Andrew here to discuss more of the weekly topics here on Smart Means Business. How are you doing, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm quite actually.
Fair. It's been quite a long week, and you know how being a man, what it takes to be. Sometimes there are quite a lot of things that you on your plate, and you're trying to solve this. But we hope for the best.
We do hope for the best, and it's actually a week to come. We actually have 1 week to close off the month of September.
Yeah.
How quick and how fast that has moved.
Yeah.
Time can easily tell. By Monday it will be 26th, so today is 23rd. So you can easily see how fast the year is coming to an end. We're heading into the 10th of the 10th month of the year, that is October.
Yeah.
And to the people in Eastern Uganda, the team NBS Group, that is also the mother of Smart 24 TV, will be celebrating 20 years of NBS. So all the fans of NBS, Cordeo FM, Smart FM, Smart 24 TV, we can definitely say we are in your area this weekend. Let's interact, let's have more of the merrymaking part of it as we celebrate 20 years of the NBS Group. Okay, Andrew, what has been your key highlight of this week?
Well, I remember when we started off the week, I was a Monday, we discussed. But anyway, before I even talk about the Monday sessions, the tragedy that the government of Uganda, through the Ministry of Health, announcing the outbreak of Ebola, something very threatening. Actually, cases have been rising. Now there are 7 cases. That's from 5 cases, and that was in Mubende. And this is causing tension and fear amongst the public. And you remember the COVID-19 was quite a disaster. It taught us a lesson, and when such calamities arise, you can see that there is tension amongst the public, most especially the business. When we look at the business, the economic implications such disasters have, they are quite worrying so much. Actually, still in the middle of the week, the day after they announced the first case in Mwende, places around there closed, bars closed, business centers closed because of that. And actually, I was on social media and I saw something, another lockdown. So you can imagine what that means and the tension. And people actually are like, we need to do whatever it takes to ensure that we prevent this. In Uganda, I remember during the COVID-19, there was this propaganda going on. It's like, that's not there, it doesn't exist, it's, but that's always typical of us, not until we get a real situation. But now it looks like people are really so let me say vigilant. I don't know if it's the right word to use, but so careful to ensure that we don't have these infections going on. And of course, it's not the first time we're having Ebola. And of course, 2019, I think, looks like it's the previous year when we had the serious disaster. And by this time around, it wasn't just in Uganda, but it was a regional issue. Because I remember our brothers, Democratic Republic of Congo, actually that's where we got it from, and it spreads from there, it comes in Uganda. And you know, so you can see quite a lot of people there being so careful, and they can't repeat the same mistakes we did during the COVID-19. So something has to be done to ensure that we limit the spread. As you can see, the bus, the transportation industry worry. I mean, actually they are using now Jik to wipe the buses clean, and the passenger has to wash their hands.
So we're going back to a situation of being very cautious about our life, just like during COVID-19.
Exactly, yeah.
And I think it's high time Ugandans again went back to the issue of social distancing and being very cautious. The idea is all about life, saving life now.
Yeah, actually, the advantage with this Ebola, it's not like an airborne like COVID. Okay. Because it's largely obtained through physical contact. You know, for example, I sweat, I shake your hand, definitely I'm going to get in contact with that. That's why when you see those people, when they're burying the victims, they are proofed. They have that heavy proof on them to ensure that you don't get any close contact. But airborne, not really.
Okay. Yeah. And that is it for, according to what the Ministry of Health did announce earlier this week in regards to an outbreak in Mubende. Like Andrew said, now there's 7 cases so far. At the beginning of the week, we had only 1 in Mubende. So that means it's not some good news to hear that the cases keep on rising. Well, we expect the cases to rise though, but then we don't want them to exceed more than numbers that are quite difficult to deal with. Okay, Andrew, besides the Ebola outbreak, just before Andrew takes us through another key highlight of the week, you get to realize that, for example, the transportation business can be greatly affected by such an outbreak. And not only that, but the other business communities around the area. So these are things that we need to closely work upon if at all we want to see our health first in everything we do.
Yeah. Then another, you know, what's been trending lately about the Ugandans that are stranded in the United Arab Emirates. Okay. I realized that quite the public has some very interesting opinions regarding that. And you know, when I was out there reaching out to these people, they were saying, you know, this is like modern day slavery, you know, and that's why I always say these are not opinions of Smart 24 TV, but simply opinions of the people. So we are talking, what we are sharing now is the opinions of the people. And people are putting this to government, saying that, okay, these companies that take these people abroad are owned by big wigs in the government. That's according to the public right there. And that's why we were talking about regulation, because we are trying to see what can government do to ensure that there is a regulation regarding such matters, whereby when Ugandans go out there, that's in the United Arab Emirates or any other Asian or Middle East country, they actually have a good life, because some are promised jobs and they reach there, it's something different. You know, they don't do what they're told to do. They end up into other scandals, other scams, and you know that. And the people are like, now can the government regulate itself? And they are really so strongly talking about licensing, you know, because by the time these people go through these companies to be taken out abroad to work, the government knows about these companies with the licenses. These are strictly, by the way, public out there, putting a disclaimer, these are not opinions of Smart 24 TV. What we are discussing here is simply what the public thinks about the matters that are taking place in the country lately.
Okay, yeah. And I think it is, when you look at all these situations, more so when it comes to the current economic crisis, these are things that we need to focus on, or discussions that we need to have steadily.
Yeah.
But when you take with the public, what were your findings from the people?
The people are saying, first of all, this one of the greatest solution to be done is to ensure that the government makes accessibility to jobs in the country being favorable. because actually it's so interesting. I was interviewing one of the person. They say now recently the president came up and said there are no jobs for you, just go in agriculture. But then the very people are saying their land is being taken in the villages. So where are they going to plant from? When they say when government brings up projects, they don't benefit from the projects. They say those projects are for those people that. So to them, what they seem to be hopeless regarding that, because some have studied, they have degrees, they have even qualifications, but they don't have this. So they're urging government to stabilize the job condition within Uganda, or the job market, to ensure that the jobs are available within the country, because people have studied, people have qualifications, but they don't know where to start, and they have this thing in them of tribalism.
Yeah. So, and when you look at Uganda's employment space, apparently is that the available jobs are not enough for the graduates, for example, or for the population that is seeking to get a job done. But all the answers apparently now are with the Middle East, because Ugandans tend to work on their visas and all that. But then some people keep on asking questions like, why don't these people use the same money to start up these businesses? But then you get to realize again, businesses are going to close down. Perfect,
exactly. Because too, I told somebody, now, what about that money you spend
to work on visa, passports, travel?
Exactly. It's like, now, which business are you going to run in Kampala right now?
Because even a recent report, which is a scary one, revealed that Ugandan business, over 60% of Ugandan businesses on the verge of collapsing. Now, such figures clearly show you or give you a picture of what we have in our country today and the challenges we are facing. So it is one of the reasons as to why you see Ugandans keep moving and seeking for jobs abroad in the Middle East. Now, like Andrew was saying, that how can we start up a business in Kampala? Which business? So
which business? Yeah. Now that's the question everyone has in mind.
Okay.
Agriculture, they are saying land is taken away from them. So you can see the dilemma they are in regarding that, and you find that it's inevitable to be in the Middle East, but still when they go to the Middle East, they are being treated as slaves.
Okay. All right. And that is something we need to focus more on as a discussion here in our country. But also, Andrew, which other highlights do you speak of that made some good news this week?
Oh, wow. There was the aspect of buildings collapsing.
Okay.
And, recently, I think on the 2nd of September in Chisenyi, we had a building that collapsed that side. And, of course, injuries were recorded. At the same time, property, of course, which is the most important now. Okay, life is also important, but just property comes in. I mean, you imagine the property loss, but also putting that aside, you imagine the person that invested in that building, how much money was lost. Then there was also the incidents of the Lotus Towers. Of course, there was a review from the Uganda National Construction Review Board regarding that was the 14th floor. When you see the pillars that are holding this building, actually they're weak, very weak, at the verge of collapse, and that is something. But of course, when I reached out to the people, I really don't know why Ugandans do things this way, but it's funny. The buildings are collapsing because of government.
Oh. I think it takes us back to a discussion we had last week regarding how people terming or pushing everything to the government.
Exactly.
The mindset is now negative towards government on issues to do with either personal challenges or, for example, let's say financial constraints. It has to have a mention of Uganda's government in here. And for the policymakers in Uganda, I believe this is a time when you get to listen to people's outcry. Where are the challenges? Why do we reach such a stage when people are always pushing every bad issue or situation, incident towards the government?
And I believe, that like a saying says, I don't know how it really perfectly says, if something is repetitive over time, then that means to some extent it can be examined as a truth. Because this is what you hear from all corners of the world. Anyway, these people are saying the materials, of course, some were attributing this to the engineers, that some of the people that we employ, and now like for example, if you're going to put up a building in city center and it's a business building, why do you hire a person engineer?
Okay.
Why don't you get a company? You contract a company to construct for you. So that has been one of the challenges that has been cited by the public regarding why they think buildings are collapsing, and also engineers who are not qualified. Majority have forged papers, and you know what? However much you forge, one thing I know in life is that there is always that test of time that proves, okay, are you really qualified for that? So that is something that people are pointing out. Materials which are substandard, and actually they are saying these materials pass through the border when these people know the authorities responsible for checking those materials are aware of these materials, but how come they reach they reach the country? And he was giving an example, some person right there saying that, if you remember, I believe you also relate to these iron sheets which are like grayish, okay, which are not blue, they are silver. If you have to compare,
and they have some health implications.
Health implications, yes. And actually, I was saying, if you compare the ones we had, sorry, in the past, they used to be hard. You could feel the material, but lately it's like paper. You just shake it like that, and that's what they're using to construct buildings up there in space. So definitely, collapse is inevitable. So the public is urging the responsible authorities that are in charge of inspecting materials that are imported in the country to take more care. They should stop being corrupt. That's what the public is saying, because they paid bribes and they accept fake materials to come into the country.
All right, Andrew, what should we expect for the weekend as we're summing up now with our Smart Means Business this week?
Yeah, personally, weekend, I'm just going to be at my place. I'm thinking about quite a few things I'm trying to put up together.
Okay.
But however, I would urge somebody out there, however much, we have passions, but it's always important that we take a step to do. I've come to realize something in life is we all have aspirations, but the most challenging aspect is to start.
Okay, starting never been easy, but keep going and keep pushing. It's the weekend ahead of us, and you can go out there and refresh more and more. We've been Smart Means Business, Joram Paul Sonko with Andrew Barigi here. Tonight he will be having Smart Tech, and we'll be taking you through as well the world of technology here on Smart 24 TV. Keep your eyes glued. We're on GoTV channel 394, DSTV channel 372, but also our website is www.smart24.tv. The YouTube channel is Smart 24 TV Live and Smart 24 TV. Then Twitter, Smart 24 TV, Facebook, Smart 24 TV Official. Just a few days to come, government will be restoring Facebook, by the way. And then also on the other issue, Instagram is Smart24_TV. Please do follow on all those socials as we interact and grow bigger as a business community and the business world. For more business updates, keep your eyes glued here on Smart 24 TV. We have more shows coming up. Financial Markets with Anthony Sebale. We have Yugi Tukole with Fred Makubia. There is Jen Kolera, Skill Up, and more to come. This has been Smart Means Business. Have a blessed weekend and good morning to you.
It's so painful to see that a country that has talented people, they don't take sports as a priority. Many federations have international engagements. They don't have money. Parliament appropriated money for federations. They haven't given any coin. They issued zero amount in the first quarter. We have the under-20 national team for football. They have to qualify. They are planning to pull out. We have the under-23. They have to qualify. The FIFA is planning to pull out. We have rugby. They have a tournament. They are planning to pull out. Netball. They have a tournament. They are planning to pull out. Table tennis and all other federations. They are planning to pull out because of money. So we want money as it was appropriated by the parliament to be given to federations. To improve sport, a lot of things we need. First of all, we need money. We need more money in the sport. Secondly, we need the investment bill. Maybe that's what I can say. When an investor is here to get a license, he has to be affiliated to any sports club. That's how we are going to see our sport advancing. That's why we are going to see more competition in our sport. We, other countries are doing that we are not doing as a country? Other countries are prioritizing sports. We are not doing that. Other countries have got a lot of facilities. For example, Rwanda, they have the best basketball court around the region here. They have a lot of stadiums. They even hosted CHAN in 2017. We have nothing.